I mean, that's $2,240 that he's bringing home. Well, then if he pays $2,300 in child support, he now has $100 left over. I mean, it just doesn't add up.
And there's also the ability for him to pick up a job waiting tables one night a week or something to that effect to kind of help pay for this.
I mean, she makes good money. She's making $10,400 a month.
Isn't that sickening? She makes over $10,000 a month and is demanding her ex-husband via the court give her more. And you heard her attorney. He can get a second job waiting tables to pay her. It happens all the time in family court. They tell you the system is broken. They tell you it just needs reform. But what if I told you the truth is far more sinister? What if the system isn't broken at all? What if it's actually working exactly as it was designed? To extract, to punish, to control you, especially if you're a man, especially if you're a father. This is not an accident, it is by design. And today, we're going to show you here on Resilient Man how this plays out. Let's talk about the illusion of fairness in family court. My personal experience. Years after my divorce, my ex came into her trust fund, a lot of money. We went back to court so I could reduce my child support based on her new significant trust fund income. I went to family court thinking it would be fair, that they would correct things. We presented our documents, her bank statements, her trust fund statements, all showing that her monthly income was 4 to 5 times what my monthly income was. And she had no job. My attorney even asked my ex on the witness stand, point blank, "Are you a millionaire through your trust fund?" Her response, "Yes, I am." The court ruled in her favor and ordered that I continue to pay her, a millionaire, an exorbitant amount of child support each month. Now, I know what you're thinking. Child support is a simple Excel calculation. You put in her income, you put in your income. It tells you exactly what you are responsible for as far as the child support goes based on your income. The judge, who was a woman, ruled her trust fund income was quote unquote retirement income. She had no job, and her trust fund income was ruled retirement income. She was 40 years old at the time. I was also ordered to continue to pay for all the children's health care benefits and multiple other expenses as well. Now, if you added it up, let's just say the amount was a very nice mortgage payment for a 3 to 4 bedroom home in a nice neighborhood. And what could I do about it? Absolutely nothing. My attorney, who was also a woman, literally turned to me in court and said, "I have no idea what just happened here." I said, "Well, I do. I was screwed by a corrupt family court system." The family court system markets itself as a place of justice, as a place where both parents are equal under the law, where the best interest of the children supposedly is what's most important. But if you've been through it, you know the actual truth. It's a farce. The scales of justice aren't just tipped, they are nailed down against men, against fathers. Here's a stat for you. Almost 90% of all custodial parents are mothers. Fathers get primary custody only about 10% of the time.
I think family court is biased against men. In my experience of handling these cases all over New York State for plus 20 years, what I've seen is they don't usually get a break with child support. When it comes to custody and visitation, if they want to prove they're the best dad in the world, they need to really prove it. And with spousal support, a lot of times, if the wife is the moneyed spouse making a boatload more money, the judges will tell you, I don't care, I'm not giving him spousal support. Yet if the roles were reversed, it would be exactly the opposite. Just not fair. There's nothing in the law to say that anything is gender specific. It should be an equal playing field. It's getting better. It's better than it used to be 20 years ago, but it's still biased.
Why do fathers have to really prove their equal value as parents? Family courts operate on a presumption that mothers are the default caregivers and fathers are optional, disposable. Fathers are treated with contempt and suspicion many times by the court. It goes deeper than cultural bias too. It's systemic because keeping fathers out isn't a flaw, it's the business model. Now, with many situations like this in life, you follow the money. You ever wonder why the system fights so hard to deny equal custody? Money. Just like we showed you in the initial clip, when one parent gets full custody, usually the mother, that triggers child support payments. And child support is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Here's a fact that you may not know. States get federal incentives based on how much child support they collect. Yeah, you heard that right. Your payments fund the system. The more men are kept out of children's lives, the more courts and states profit from it. It's big business. Here's another stat. Title 4-D of the Social Security Act provides states with matching funds. The more they collect, the more they get from the federal government. Your kids are being used as collateral to keep the money machine running. Let's talk about what you actually get as a father in court. Because most men walk in thinking, hey, I'm a good dad, I'm a good guy, I've done nothing wrong, the truth will come out and they're going to treat me fair. But here's the trap. Family court isn't criminal court. You have no right to a jury. There is no presumption of innocence, no due process as you normally expect. It's a civil court operating with subjective discretion, which means a judge can make life-altering decisions based on feelings.
Don't think that the court system cares anything about your relationship with your child. Fortunately, a lot of men come in and they say, I want the judge to know exactly what she's been doing, how she's been treating me, how she treats the kids. And I kind of say, wait a minute, it's rare you find a judge who gives a shit. Okay, it's rare. They don't care. They care about moving cases off their docket. They want their docket to stay clean. So I want them to understand that. You can fight for your day in court. You can get in there. You can have a great case. You can have great evidence. And you can still lose because this judge doesn't care. The judge might be friends with opposing counsel. The law firm may have contributed to the campaign of the judge. There are so many factors that are involved in justice that have nothing to do with justice. You know, it's crazy. We have these big books and they have all these laws in there and there's pages and pages of laws. You know, the judge must XYZ. Then they end it with, or whatever the judge thinks is in the child's best interest.
I was ordered to continue to pay a millionaire child support. And if you miss child support payments, they can suspend your license, garnish your wages, throw you in jail, all with no trial. So let's be clear about this, guys. You do not have rights in family court. You have obligations. Your role isn't parent, it's payer. Let's discuss the deadbeat dad myth. Why does society go along with this? because of the deadbeat dad narrative. You see it everywhere in TV and movies and media headlines. Absent fathers, irresponsible men. It's become a cultural script. But what if I told you the truth in reality is most men aren't walking away, they're being pushed out. Most deadbeat dads, or so called, are actually unemployed, homeless, or even being denied access to their children by the mother. But try to fight for custody. You're labeled controlling. Try to get equal time with your children. You're intimidating. Speak out online. You're misogynistic. They don't want fathers seen as vital because independent, present fathers break the system. And it's not just family court. This isn't just about custody battles. It's part of a larger ecosystem designed to weaken male agency. From false allegations that stick with no evidence, restraining orders granted on hearsay, paternity fraud with no legal consequence to the woman who committed this fraud, parental alienation by the mother, alienating a father from his children, and it's ignored by society and the courts. Men are not seen as individuals, they're seen as resources to be mined, managed, and then marginalized. The system doesn't care about your innocence or if you're a good man or a good father. It only cares about your compliance. They told you that the system could be trusted, justice would prevail, that if you played nice, you would get your fair shake. That was a lie. It isn't justice. It's marginalization of men and fathers. If you're a father, you don't need permission to fight for your child. That's the point. A father shouldn't have to fight for their child in the first place. You don't need a judge to tell you your worth, but you do need to wake up if you are separated and or going through a divorce currently. Because the system isn't broken. It's rigged. It's corrupt. See it for what it is. Do not delude yourself. So what can you do about it? Educate yourself and get as prepared as possible. Seek guidance and help through local and or online fathers groups, other men and fathers who are going through a similar situation. Watch the content I've done here on Resilient Man, specifically on getting prepared if you are separated and or going through a divorce. I've done content here on parental alienation as well that will help you. As a guy that's been through the family court gristmill, I truly want to help fathers like you watching. Please share this with another guy that needs to hear this message. Like, comment, and subscribe. Grow the channel. Help me grow the channel. Support the channel by hitting that subscribe button right now. It's about men advocating for men. Know your worth. Protect your peace.